Now it's a week away, but Tom Brady is going in to play Patrick Mahomes February 7th, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, when Tom Brady played in and won his first Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes was in kindergarten. And now the two are facing off. Tom Brady trying to become the break his own record of being the oldest quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes going in to try and win his second. I'm pretty sure you guys know my position. We'll get into that a little bit later, but Chris, we'll start with you. First and foremost, who's winning the game?
Who's winning the game? That's the big question. I have not come to a conclusion yet, but I will for the sake of the show. I mean, you've asked it of me. I am leaning Kansas City, but again, I could see it going any way. I just think Patrick Mahomes is too good. I think that the storyline is tremendous, of Brady Mahomes. I think it's arguably one of the best quarterback matchups we've ever had on a Super Bowl Sunday. But I will go to what Tiki Barber said, which was that if somebody's going to mess it up, it could be Brady. But Brady's been to 10 of these. So that's where I'm stuck, and there's something about Bruce Arians potentially getting his first that intrigues me. But when all is said and done, I mean, and I reserve the right to change my position in the next week because it's, we're still a week away. But I do think I'm leaning Chiefs right now.
I'd have to agree. I'm slightly leaning Chiefs. We just got the news recently that left tackle Eric Fisher, torn Achilles, will miss the Super Bowl. That's a huge loss for them. But to me, it's so hard to put this on a Bucks Chiefs level. This is something more than just these teams. This is the legacy of two of the game's biggest players. And, you think about Tom Brady, and to me, he's the greatest to ever do it. I think Kelly will agree with me on that one. And, there have been a lot of challengers to that position throughout the years. We've seen Aaron Rodgers as a guy who at one point could, make the case for a challenger. But, Brady's got 6, potentially 7. And this could really be a monumental step for Mahomes, not only to defeat Brady, kind of as like a passing of torch moment. And if he's got 2 under his belt at age 25, there's no reason why he can't eventually step to that 6. And I understand how hard it is to get there, but this is definitely the first step to taking that kind of championship belt away from Brady.
It really is it's like a LeBron Jordan matchup if you really think about it. The greatest of all time, and then somebody who could potentially be the new greatest of all time. And I think Patrick Mahomes, like you said, especially if he were to win this one and have 2 at the age of 25, he is setting himself up to overtake Brady and maybe get 8 someday. But at the same time, Tom Brady's still playing. And like you mentioned, this is his 10th time doing it. In since we've had a Super Bowl era, Tom Brady will now have played in 20% of those games, those Super Bowls. So he just has unparalleled and unmatched experience in the situation. And if you look at this Tampa Bay team, they're a team that I think really saw a shift, a turning point in their Week 13 bye. And that came off the heels of a loss to none other than the Kansas City Chiefs. Right, you come out of that bye week after that loss to the Chiefs, and Tampa Bay's offense has been virtually unstoppable since. 240 points, 34.3 points per game, 34.3 points per game, 7 straight wins, and they've just looked like a new team. Brady has looked like his old self, and they're starting to get some of their weapons back that they were missing earlier on in the season. So they're just really coming into their own and looking like a team that is going to take the best to beat, which a lot of people would argue, like you both have, that the Chiefs would be that best team that would overtake them. But I would argue that in this situation, I'm taking the Tampa Bay's defense over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay defense, there's something to be said there, led by Todd Bowles and a very good unit. This is a team that's gotten it together. I agree that they are a totally different team than they were when they lost to the Chiefs in Week 12. We haven't even mentioned the fact that this game will be in Tampa Bay, which just adds to the ridiculous intrigue of this Super Bowl 55. And Tom Brady, an underdog, which is sort of bizarre, right? He never has been, and he's been doubted all year. I have to give some credit to our producer, Alex Bowles, who said, I believe, I could be right. I could be wrong, but I think he did. He says I'm correct. He did say that the Buccaneers were going to be at this point, and I wasn't sure about that. I saw so many vulnerabilities from this Tampa Bay offense led by Tom Brady, throwing interceptions, making mistakes, and nobody gets it together better than Tom Brady when it comes playoff time. And here they are. They've got the momentum. I think the Eric Fisher point is actually very important, the left tackle. And all I can think about now, a week away from the game, is that I really hope it's a good one. There's nothing better than a good Super Bowl. So I'm very much looking forward.
I remember when the Pats lost to the Titans last year in the playoffs. I was actually at the game, and
really
a part of my heart just crumbled and, will never come back. And I've been slightly down on the Bucs this season. I definitely have been a bit bearish on them throughout the playoffs. I thought they were going to lose to the Saints. I thought they were going to lose to the Packers. And here I am thinking that they're going to lose to the Chiefs. And it just would be so Brady-esque to go out and do that again. I can't say that I'm not rooting for them, because, he's not playing for the Pats, but, I've still got a soft spot for Brady. I want him to go out and get number 7. But I'm just conflicted. I can't bet against the reigning Super Bowl champs, but I can't bet against Tom Brady either.
It's a tough situation to be in. But I just look at it and I'm like, there's just no way. Now I've come on this show. I've been on the show 2 weeks now, and both times I have picked, and we've had a pick 'em segment, and I have picked the Bucs both times, and I'm 2 for 2, trying to be 3 for 3. So I got to stick with it. I got to pick them again.
I thought if they were going to beat Green Bay, they were going to have to beat Green Bay with their defense, and it didn't really go that way, right? It ended up requiring a lot of offense as well, and I did not know or think that Brady was going to be able to do it, which you just never doubt Tom Brady. It always you always end up being wrong if you do it. There's just nobody better under pressure, and Brady ended up sort of outslinging Aaron Rodgers, and he does not have Patrick Mahomes' arm, and he doesn't have Patrick Mahomes' pure ability. But what he does have is the experience, and you can't discount that. He's got the brain, and he's got Bruce Arians behind him. I also think the head coaching matchup is pretty legendary between Andy Reid and Bruce Arians, who has never won a Super Bowl as a head coach, only as an assistant, a guy that is tremendous and no nonsense. And it's been pretty awesome to see the Buccaneers come together because they got off the ground pretty slow. You had this transition, right, for Tom Brady, who's only ever had one head coach, and they figured it out, and little by little they clicked, and they are obviously at peak form right now. I'm not sure if that's the case for Kansas City with the concussion sustained by Mahomes. We'll see. I know that's what we keep coming back to in this segment, but it's hard to say right now. It really is. But I am thinking Chiefs still.
Yeah, no, I understand the importance of momentum. And the Bucs were a team that finished the season really hot. But I mean, how do you criticize a team for not being better when they're already great? They won the Super Bowl last year, and then their quarterback gets hurt. So, obviously momentum's not on their side, but from a pure talent team standpoint, it's really hard to not say the Chiefs, for the first time in a long time. It hurts me to say this, but when there's 2 minutes left in the game and you've got one drive left, I'm putting my money on Patrick Mahomes.
I would strongly disagree with that. I'm shocked as a former Patriots fan that you would say that, but
Former, I'm still a Patriots fan. Does
uh,
that strip me of my honorary fan status?
I understand that. Patrick Mahomes, I think I keep on saying this on radio, but Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback right now. It's simple. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Tom Brady right now. But
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. I don't think you can debate that. But to win a Super Bowl, it takes a lot more than a great quarterback. It takes somebody who's a leader. It takes someone who knows how to win, and it's a whole team effort. You look at any of the Super Bowls Tom Brady wins. The defense comes up in huge ways. Players make ridiculous plays. Edelman's catch, where he catches it with his fingertips on the ground off of someone, that kind of thing. It takes other players. It's not just the quarterback. So, even if Tom Brady doesn't, if Tom Brady wins, it's not all on him. It's the Buccaneers win, and like you said, Bruce Arians as a head coach, it's great to see that from them. And if they don't win, I don't think that takes away from Tom Brady's legacy either.
Yeah, I'll give a final thought before you wrap us out. I mean, I just think it'll help if the Chiefs don't do something like Green Bay did, which was give the ball back to Tom Brady at the end. And that's just absurd, and you can't make that mistake. Look, good things happen to Tom Brady. They always have. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not the same this year. A ridiculous catch, something absurd happening. We've seen it so many times, time and time again. I don't want to take away from what he's been able to do with his own talent. It'll certainly help if the Chiefs don't make the failure that the Packers did last week, but we'll see.